Hey, all you shiners, it's time for something cool. I'm here to do my part. I'll drop a stinky fart. No chicken soup for you. I'm gonna eat it up. And then I'll do a show and talk about the Green Hornet. I got a new laptop. You know it doesn't suck. I'll need to keep it down when I'm making too much noise. My mom will pull the plug and Dennis smack my ass, and that will surely blow. Hey, fuckers, it's time for the Nick Shine Show.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful
Hey, motherfucker!
See through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Okay. I wiped the keyboard down before, and I must have hit Function and F4 at the same time while doing it, and it killed the mic. Shout out to Nicky, the junior IT guy. Nick, say what's up to everyone. What's up? Thank you. Love you, son. I'm here. I am your host, Nick. Welcome. It's Sunday Shine Time. I will be joined in a little bit by Gunny, NYJ Situation Report. We're going to discuss the state of the Jets, where we are, and where do we go from here. Thank you for joining. Thanking all of you for helping me rectify the issue. The test is good. I did my Mike Breen impression, which he wishes he could do. Bang, bang, motherfucker. Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you are new here, please subscribe and welcome. If you are new, say that you're new in the chat and let the chat welcome you. They're a very, very loving, caring, embracing community. And if they're not, they won't say anything because they're very, very kind people. But let's say hello. Stack was here early today. What's up, Stack? Mr. Brigga was here early on, as was Mark. And we can't forget Oscar. Hank G is here. Rick Kent got a notification, so Rick Kent is here. David D is with us. Connor Long. BC. Who else we got? Let's see. We got Adirondack Fly Guy. Hello, good sir. Stacks. I gotta see this. Stacks Man Sadu. Stacks Man Sadu. What's up, Chuck? Is that your name, Chuck? Hello, Thunderlips. Thank you for being here. Who else we got? We got our resident Detroit Lion fan, Patty Grimes. David is here, another Detroit Lion fan. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you showing up. The great Tom Mays. Yeah, my homeboy. I love you, Tom Mays, but not in a gay way, honey. Tom does a better impression than me. Clancy is here as well. What's up, Clancy? Long time no talk, my friend. Nathan Shells, hello. Hi, Carly. Carly says hi to her friends and enemies. Why would anyone want to be enemies with Carly? She's super awesome. But here we are. It's Sunday night, 1 week after the Super Bowl. Our first Sunday without football. How do we feel about no football? To quote the great Lane. How do we feel about no football? 200 days until opening day, if we play on Sunday. I have a very sneaky suspicion. I'm willing to bet a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. unless I think we got to be 1 o'clock. I don't even think we passed the Mississippi this year. So I think all of our games are going to be 1. Occasionally a 4 o'clock game, but majority of our games are going to be 1 o'clock. We're back to about 15 of those. So that's good. Who else we got here? But like I was saying, if you're new, subscribe. If you are subscribed, hit the like button. Super chats, great way to get your comment on air. Support the show. The show. Gifted memberships, we should have a bunch of those open tonight. You gift 5, I gift 1 to Matt to thank you and give back to the community. But with the Jets, it's not an overnight fix. It's not one off season away. It's not one player away. There's a lot that we need. We've covered it in depth here. We need multiple defensive tackles. We need Jermaine Johnson to come back and 100%. We need another defensive end. We might need to replace C.J. Mosley and Jamian Sherwood at linebacker. Probably going to have to replace DJ Reed at corner. Both safeties, a kicker, a right tackle, multiple wide receivers, a minimum of 3. I don't think Gibson and Corley make it to the next regime or make it through camp. I think a guy who's rumored to be tied to the Jets is Tim Patrick, who had a really nice couple moments in Detroit this year. We know they got some nice receiver depth there. He's got familiarity. He knows the passing scheme. Don't forget, whenever you bring in new coaches, they bring in guys they're familiar with. They might overpay them a little bit to get them to come because they're familiar with the system. So they get a payday, and then they help you implement your plan and your system and explain it to others. We did that with Hackett. We brought in Lazard, right? Didn't work out. We brought in Cobb. They were there to make Garrett Wilson and others familiar with what they do. Don't be surprised if that's a name tied to the Jets in free agency. I think it will be. But we need multiple receivers. We need, in my opinion, an entirely new tight end room. I'm done with Ruckert. I'm done with Conklin. Time to move on. And the quarterback situation, which we will detail shortly with Gunny. But we need a lot. We need a lot. We're not one good draft away. We're not going to spend recklessly in free agency. I doubt. So it's going to be very curious on how they do this. It's going to be, I'm very, very interested because you don't have the quarterback. You got to build smart. Now, what do? Do you build it with the old Bill Parcells, hold the fort guys? Not all in guys like Tyron Smith and Mike Williams and others, but 1-year deals. Maybe a linebacker who's bounced around the league a little bit, has experience, or maybe played under Wilkes in San Francisco or in Carolina. Do you try Stiggers for a year? Do you re-sign Eccles? Whenever a new regime comes in, a new plan formulates, and we get that revelation. We start to see, what are they doing? Are they bargain shopping? Are they holding off the first couple days of March 10th is the legal tampering period. March 12th is the first day people can sign. Do we wait for that first wave to die down, knowing that we don't have the quarterback? We're not built to win. Don't overspend. Now, if you find someone that's a right tackle, I get that. You find someone that's a defensive tackle that you think you can plug and play next to Quinnen, I get that. But I wouldn't expect us to be going after the top guys at any position this year. It doesn't make sense. You have a lot of holes to fill. I think we have 23 guys last year who are on 1-year or expiring contracts. You got to make this last. There's a lot of dead cap money. You're going to have more with Devontae. You got to bargain shop this first year. And who knows? Minnesota Vikings bargain shopped with Sam Darnold as a backup. Ended up being tremendous, getting MVP votes. So it's not to say that you can't bargain shop and be successful. It's not sexy. But if you get the right player in the right system with the right coach at the right time, magic can happen. To be determined, right? We're going to live and die with every move the Jets make. We're going to overanalyze it. That's what we do. I bet you right now, here's a prediction. We're going to hate a lot of the names that get signed because we don't think they're big names. And we're Jets fans, and we want to live big time in free agency because it makes our hope grow. You know what makes my hope grow? Bringing in the right players, coaching them up. Wow, that's some heavy wind and rain outside. The New York Jets have to deliver. Oh, Raul coming in with a crazy comment to start. Sign Danny Dimes. All right, let's discuss that. Why couldn't I don't want him, but he's mobile. That's one of the needs I have. He's won a playoff game. Why couldn't the coaching change and help someone like Danny Dimes succeed? I don't want him here, but why couldn't he find someone like Sam Darnold did, like Baker Mayfield did, and find success in the NFL? Possible. I don't want it with the New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, I think somebody hit a parlay. Let's welcome 25. Congratulations. That's usually a sign he hit a parlay when he super chats. But thank you, sir. I'm assuming, I could be wrong. Correct me. Or say bingo. Either one. What's up to you, my friend? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Will they trade players? Matthias asks, will they trade players? You can't trade Devontae with that contract. He's basically said he can't wait to be a free agent. He's never been able to pick where he goes. You're not trading Lazard with that contract. No one's going to trade for Michael Clemens. No one's going to trade for Jeremy Ruckert. Maybe Sherwood, if you tag him. But if you don't tag him, then you're stuck with that. I don't know. I can't think of who else we could actually trade. Oh, even better at 25. I appreciate that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Tigo is here. He does not have a membership yet. And ladies and gentlemen, Metro Funny has a birthday today. Metro Funny, happy birthday, my brother. God bless. Enjoy. I have a phone call from my daughter coming in. So give me one moment and we will be right back and we will address what's going on in the chat. Hi, Sophia.
It's got me.
Gentry covered in football. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime as Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube if you don't know. The Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Yes, doing shows are fun. Hanging out with you people are fun. But when you get a surprise late phone call from your daughter, life comes to a stop and you have to take that phone call immediately. So some action happened. Thank you for bearing with me. Being a dad is very important to me. The boy is here. The girl is not. So I had to take that. But Metro, happy birthday, brother. Hope you had an awesome day. And many, many more to you, my friend. Thank you for being a part of this community and a fun part of it, too. And then after that super chat, the great Rick Kent dropped 5 memberships. And they went to OG Jets fan 1985. More on him in a minute. Craig Wilton from Down Under. SG 31 Black. Jake. And my other account, Nick Shine. I know. Don't worry. I have 2 memberships coming at you to make up for that. Let's get those going. But thank you, Rick Kent. You are a treasure, my friend. Much love to you. I wonder what made Rick do that. I don't know. Oh, my camera's crooked. Why is that camera crooked? There we go. All right, I'm waiting for it to upload. Where are we here? Come on, chat. I gifted 1. Since Rick Kent gifted 5, that went to Adam S. And now 25 gifted 5 also. Thank you, 25. That went to Jet It Out, Mark Reese, Project Prospect with Dom C, Mr. Business, and Goose McGee. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, 25. Dom always gets them, Tigo. Don't hate. Appreciate. All right. Come on. Load. IO2 here. You know what? Let's just do this. This way now I'm caught up for the show. And if more happen, we're good. I'm going to give 5. Because I see the chat is already popping. And they went to Mr. Roberts, Hennessy Heisman, Dan Philcox, Phenom, and Nick Russo. This way I don't have to keep going in doing it. I'm all caught up. And if any more action happens, we can continue. I do have an update for you guys. For those of you that have been on Bobby's show, my show, there was an issue with one of our friends a couple months ago, Tommy. Tommy had some struggles in life. Oh, let me put that up. Thank you, 25. You're the man. And then we didn't hear from Tommy for a while. About a week or 2 ago, I got an out of the blue text from Tommy that's saying he was out of a facility. He was in for 90 days, and he had 102 days sober and clean at that point. So congratulations to Tommy. If you're watching after getting that gift, I hope you're still doing well and still staying the course, brother. And now that you're on that path, you can reach out to me anytime, my friend. But yeah, tremendous surprise news that was one day to get. Let's fix this camera. There's a lot going on today. Yeah, very good news. I was shocked, surprised, pleased, and kind of did like a fuck yeah. Like I was very happy when I got that message. But that was a good sign. Then he got gifted the membership. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, 25. And thank you, Metro Funny. Oh, 25 with a hypothetical. Here we go. If the Colts decide to move on from Anthony Richardson with similar concerns the Mavs had about Luca, are we interested in trading for him? You give up a quarterback with that size, that ability. Yeah, I would. I would definitely. Never know with the right coaching and the right attack. Like I said before, catch lightning in a bottle. There's a reason he was drafted early. I would definitely be interested if Anthony Richardson becomes available. I don't know what the Luca comment is. Is afraid that Anthony Richardson drinks too much. I mean, he did check himself out of a game this year, right? Is that what you're referencing? That like he got tired and he like tapped himself out, like I need a break. Yeah, Thunderlips. I saw this. It was a guy who was on a podcast that's in the know with Miami Hurricanes football, and he brought it up and said that it's not the Giants, it's the Jets who could be putting a package together to move up to get him. I don't know if I want to do that in year one. I don't know if I like the quarterbacks enough to do that this year. I would be very upset if they give up a one, a two, next year's one, probably another two, and then probably a three at some point to go from 7 to 1. That's a lot to go from 7 to 1. You're giving up a ton of assets on a team that has a ton of needs. But I don't know. I wouldn't like that. What are you doing, man? I wouldn't like that. Don't get me wrong. Down the road, if it hits, you look brilliant. But with the amount of needs that we have, and I just went through earlier, I don't know if I would be comfortable or excited about that. Next year, sure. Like my plan for those of you that don't know it already, at 7, and if Abdul Carter's not there, which I doubt he will be, you trade back. And when I trade back, give me your 1 this year, give me your 2 next year. Give me an extra asset in the 2026 draft. So when you have Sellers, Nussmeyer, Aller, potentially Manning, if we win 6, 7 games this year, and we got to go from 7, 8, 9, 10 up to number 1, you have an extra asset next year. You have a 1, 2 twos to make the jump. So as much as we like the 3 this year that we have from the Detroit Lions from the trade that we made, I would be, if you don't make that jump, I would be very interested in trading back and gathering 2026 assets. Lane, of course you can call in, but we're going to have the call ins later in the show. I have a guest joining us any minute now. And when he's done with his spot, we should be at 69 likes. We get the 69 likes and we drop the call in. So hit the like button and make sure that we get there. But I'm going to spend some time talking with Gunny. We haven't been on a show in a while together, and I'm looking forward to this. We share the same birthday. It's literally my brother from another mother. Yeah. Don't piss Jay Graves off. She might be tiny, but I'm petrified of her. So hit the like or take a hike. which means we should have at least 52 likes right now. All right, we're 46. We're close. We're close. Not completely there yet, but close. Let's since Rick Kent's here and he gifted memberships, let's hit this real quick.
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine time. It's time to talk about the Jets. Don't you know it's shine time? Shine time. It's shine time. Time to be with my friends. Hey, have you seen my toe?
You know how I know we share the same birthday and he is my brother from another mother? When I played that video, I texted, "You good?" And as I hit the send button, somebody appeared backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my good friend, Gunny. What's up, brother?
What's up, Nick? How you doing, bro? It's been forever and a day since you and I were on the same screen together, man.
I know, man. How's things?
I mean, things are good, man. Things are good. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the off season, right? This is when we get to shine as Jets fans. Been watching the show a little bit.
Unintended?
Literally.
That's a nice plug.
I'm just
Thanks.
looking. I got you covered, bro. You know I got you covered. I'm just looking at this man, and I'm excited, yet I'm also a little bit perturbed. You're hearing some rumors right now about. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead, man. But ultimately, it's off season time, right? And I think like all Jets fans, we're filled with hope, and we're hoping the team finally got it right. But as they say, man, time will tell. I guess time will tell.
So, what's your thoughts with moving on from Rodgers? Right move, wrong move, angry, happy?
Well, for me, man, I feel like it makes sense in a lot of ways, right? I think that when you're looking at the process of wanting to build this culture, wanting to go ahead and commit to a standard of winning, right? You've heard freaking Coach Glenn talk about sustained success, sustained winning. You know, you don't really get a chance to do that with, an Aaron Rodgers who comes into the building and he might give you, some wins next year. Then he's gone, and then we're starting all over again. I think that is where his thought process might have been. I know you're hearing a lot of things. In regards to whether or not Rodgers was begging to come back and stuff like. I just don't think that's actually really true. That Rodgers was begging to come back. I will say this: I do believe that the thought process of letting Aaron Rodgers go goes to show that we have adults in the building making adult decisions, because these aren't easy decisions. They're tough decisions. But if we're being honest with ourselves, $60 million in potential cap ramifications if he's on the roster for next year. We have some young stuff we're trying to go ahead and keep on this roster, and your Garrett Wilson, your Jermaine Johnson, your Sauce Gardners. That makes that a little bit more difficult, 2 years from now. Those components are what I would say are foundation pieces. Whereas Aaron Rodgers, listen, we won 5 games with him this past year. Could we win 8? Could we win 9? Maybe, probably. But I don't think we brought Rodgers in here to go ahead and win 9 games. We brought him here to go ahead and be a Super Bowl champion. That wasn't going to happen with Rodgers in the building. So moving on from him makes sense if you're thinking about the future.
Yeah. When you look at Aaron Rodgers' QBR, it's dropped his last 4 seasons played. Every year has been worse. And obviously, we're taking out 2023. But 24 was lower than 22. 22 was drastically lower than 21. And 21 was lower than 20. 20 may have been one of his best individual seasons. And since then, it's been one, boom, boom. And this one was slightly lower, but still lower. There was a trend before the injury that he was on the decline. Packers got rid of him. They saw some things. There's one thing I want to clear up. From my understanding with the cap, we don't owe Rodgers the $49 million. It's just the cap hit. It's our penalty for the salary, for the reduction in salary that he took. That money doesn't go away when it's guaranteed. It still hits your cap. So we're not cutting him a $49 million check to not be here, like they did with Russell Wilson in Denver. They paid him not to be there. And that's why Green Bay or Pittsburgh got him for the veteran minimum, because he had that check coming in from Denver. He doesn't have that with us. So
No,
it's just
100%.
a cap hit that we're getting. No, I know you do. A lot of
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, we're paying him not to be here. We're not.
Yeah, nah, when it comes down to that, like it's money that was already owed to him. He, of course, renegotiated a little bit to give us um, more balance or more cap space to go ahead and maneuver and build, put some more pieces around him. But that money was coming out one way or another. Like even though he took a pay cut, you know what I'm saying, by taking away some of those guarantees, it was still on the contract and he was still on the roster last year. So that is still owed to somebody, right? I don't know if it's an escrow or who gets it. Not Rogers, but it is part of our cap penalties and it's deducted as such. But yeah, like people were saying that like we're gonna pay him to play somewhere else. Like, no, we're not. He's not getting paid a dime from the Jets anymore. Like he's got no more guaranteed money on his contract. If he was on the roster, I think we'd be paying him what 19 million or something like that this year. Like Rogers will be literally off the books in terms of wherever he goes. I'm not paying him to go win a Super Bowl for somebody else. That's just like you stated perfectly, is the penalty from when he did make the adjustment to go ahead and take the pay cut for us to have some more cap space to go ahead and make some more moves around him.
And you don't have a shot to win the Super Bowl if you don't have a mobile quarterback. It's a weapon. The final four quarterbacks this year were Hurts and Daniels and Lamar and Patrick. You need a quarterback who can run. You need a quarterback who you can design plays for, who can be a weapon. Kansas City Chiefs the year before, they locked up the Super Bowl going for it on fourth down on that final drive with the RPO, Mahomes keeping it and getting that first down, right? When Bosa bit really hard. Lamar Jackson, we don't need to speak about him. We all know his running ability. Jaden Daniels, they were drawing up plays for him in the playoff games to just have him sprint out to the outside and beat the corner to the sideline. Like, and we know what Hurts does with his mobility. You have to have a mobile quarterback in order to have a shot in this day and era in the NFL. And having a 41-year-old guy, it doesn't seem like it's the right move for me. Now, anyone who mentions Aaron Rodgers and the word Super Bowl, I think that is it's not a possibility. He won 3 MVPs since his last Super Bowl appearance.
Listen, I look at Aaron Rodgers, and this is the guy who, in his prime, you know what I'm saying, they couldn't get it done with a pretty good team around him. And we're asking him to come in at age 41, 42 to potentially be the catalyst that brings us to a Super Bowl. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. The wife has some friends over, if you guys were catching that on the mic. But yeah, like it just didn't make sense in terms of the logic of, I get it, man. It was exciting. We made the attempt to go ahead and bring him into the folds, to go ahead and be the reason why we made it. We all thought we were one piece away. The fact of the matter is we weren't one piece away. I think we saw last year that the New York Jets have holes on this roster. And Aaron Rodgers isn't a guy that can go ahead and carry a team anymore. He needs help. So what are we doing? Like, I understand there's a lot of frustration in regards to the whole fact that he's leaving and, oh my God, he had 3,800 freaking yards and 28 TDs. It's the best. That just goes to show how desperate we are as a fan base to have decent play.
It shows how low the bar was too. With how low the bar.
Exactly. But you said it beautifully, man. If you want to go ahead and be serious, if you want to be a contender, if you want to go ahead and make a Super Bowl, then we need to go ahead and get a mobile quarterback. That's the way to do it. That's the formula. This year's playoffs and Super Bowl both showcased mobile quarterbacks at the top of their game. So I think that's the route we need to go ahead and take. I don't believe that individual is in this draft. I think it's going to be in next year's draft, and we'll probably find our guy. But we weren't going to get there any sooner, you know what I'm saying, holding on to the what ifs and the what was of an Aaron Rodgers. He's more infamous in name than he is in terms of play. I don't see anybody coming out of the woodwork saying they're bringing Aaron Rodgers back. I don't think he had many other options. I think this is one reason why maybe he wanted to go ahead and stick around too. Yeah. But ultimately for us as a fan base, it is a hard decision. It is a very difficult decision to walk away from at least an average, potentially average quarterback. But we're not trying to go ahead and just be average, just to be in the league. We've been doing that for the last several years. I would like to go ahead and win playoff games. I would like to go ahead and maybe be a Super Bowl contender, a Super Bowl champion. We weren't going to have that with Aaron Rodgers. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't in the cards. And I think by getting rid of him now, you're setting the stage right now to let this team know you mean business about the sustained success aspect and moving forward with the foundation pieces that we currently have in the building.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot that comes with him outside of football. If he won the MVP this year, yeah, you run it back. You know, if he was mobile and getting the ball out on time, the numbers weren't good. If you look at the passing yards and the touchdown, all right, you play 17 games in the NFL. You threw less than 1.5 touchdowns a game. That's not overly impressive in a league where they're throwing 40 something touchdowns. The leaders are in the 40s. You're almost 20 touchdowns behind. You're only 60 points higher than the previous year. You had 5 games with 15 points or less. 2023 with Zach and all those awful quarterbacks we had 5 games with 15 points or less. So for all of that, you took away from Brees how many times by not running the ball? Like, those stats are inflated. It's not like we were this well-oiled machine and we were one of the top 10 offenses in the NFL. And it's like, all right, run it back, build the defense, the top 10 offense. You can make the defense and the kicking game better. You have a chance. We didn't have a chance. It's padded numbers. And I think people need to look deeper than just saying 28 touchdowns.
100%. Something
How
for
many
me,
games did he have 3 touchdowns and we lost? How many games did he have where it was 35 points in the first half, like Aaron Rodgers in his prime put up? We didn't have those. How many games do we have where there was stats in November? The Jets haven't scored on opening drive yet since blah, blah, blah.
literally.
Like,
Yeah.
it was bad. There was some good moments.
Yes, there were flashes.
Good
There were
doesn't
flashes.
get you to the promised land.
No.
And if you're
No,
not going to get us to the promised land, you cut ties and you start your plan. And I respect that.
And that makes perfect sense, right? You saw flashes of Aaron Rodgers, but you weren't going to
Yeah.
get Aaron Rodgers, every single game. You weren't going to get Aaron Rodgers every single game, right? Like, that's just not feasible. And I think people saw the flashes and thought to themselves, like, yeah, he can continue to go ahead and show us this the next game. We kept waiting to see it. We never saw it. He would always pretty much go back to the mean. The guy is 41 years old. He played like such. Now, granted, for a 41-year-old, you give him props. Those were some pretty good output in terms of what he is, a 41-year-old guy. But let's stop with the comparisons of like the MVP, passing stats. And Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers are so similar and the same that but we get rid of Aaron Rodgers, but the other guys an MVP. It is not the same thing. If you watch those games, you realize significantly that the Jets were significantly behind and they weren't on the same playing field offensively in most matchups on this season. So, yes, the stats on the back end tell you like, oh, man, look how great he did. But if you watch the games, the stats are pretty much not telling the whole story. And they weren't in this case when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Here's some in-depth analytics for Rodgers. He had the second most passing attempts. He ranked 28th in yards per attempt at 6.7. He ranked 22nd in expected points added per dropback. His success rate ranked 25th. He had the 4th lowest pressure rate, but the 9th most sacks, which means what? He's not seeing field the right way. He's not getting the ball out on time. 6, he ranked 34th in completion percentage over expectation at minus 5.2%. That's saying he's missing throws. That stat tells you he's missing throws. You want some examples? Garrett Wilson open. Yaboa in Buffalo. There's a lot of those. Everyone says, oh, this happened, that happened. But you know what? I'm pissed because I wanted it to work. People are calling me out saying I hate Rodgers. I don't hate Rodgers. I hate that it didn't work with Rodgers. 2023 was the year. As always, 69 of you here watching. I thank you for that. It always seems that when I do the announcement, we're at 69, or I just make the announcement when we're there because it's kind of my thing.
One
You
way
know
or
the
another.
deal here. When 69 people hit the like button, we drop the call-in link. We won't do call-ins until Gunny's gone because no offense to you guys. I want to talk to my boy. But thank you. But we will do call-ins later on when we get to that number. Let me ask you this. We got Scott Turner, son of Norv Turner, and we got Turner Engstrand coming in. 2 guys who have been the passing game coordinators and 2 guys who have been in offenses that get the ball downfield. Are you confident that they're going to be able to convince Garrett Wilson to stay and not request a trade? I think a trade request is coming, whether it's a negotiating tactic or whether it's sincere and get me the hell out of here because I don't know who the quarterback is. What's your thoughts with Garrett and what could fold or unfold this offseason?
I think when it comes to Garrett Wilson, people are looking at the frustration that we got to witness towards the back end of the season as being like his gospel. But this is one of those kids, man, when I look at it, I see a freaking Sauce Gardner type of mentality in terms of he was drafted to be here. He wants to go ahead and see it work, see it come to fruition. And I also don't think you make the move of letting go of an Aaron Rodgers without letting him know, like, look, Brett Rodgers was again the ball, so you understand that this is going to be an offense that won't fool you.
I don't hear them. For what it's worth, I don't hear them. I don't know if
You don't hear
over
them?
YouTube, but I don't hear it.
Okay, if anybody
I
can
don't
just let
want
me
you
know.
worrying. Like, I don't hear
Okay.
it.
All right, cool. Because I tried to go ahead and put the mic on minimal gain, so I have to be right up on it, so it didn't pick up the background noise.
The
But yeah,
chat's usually really good, as you know, that if
Yeah.
there is some noise,
they would
they'll
have been saying
use it,
something.
they'll poke fun at it.
Good
Chat,
point. Good
give us some
point.
feedback, but
All right, Rick Kent says they hear me just fine. All right, cool. So then
Yeah.
maybe it's just me because I can hear them. I don't hear any background noise. You're good, Gunny. All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you. That makes me feel better. I don't like to go ahead and mess up the stream or anything. But I think with Garrett Wilson, man, a lot of this is being based primarily off of fear, right? As a fan base, we've seen it with freaking, stars in the past where they decided they were going to go ahead and call it a day
Yeah.
and request a trade. I think we got some PTSD from that. We're still kind of like waiting for the ball to drop. This is the guy who's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Like, he is a stud. By the time it's all said and done, he has the potential of being the best freaking wide receiver the New Jets have ever had, on this roster. And that's saying a lot. We've had some studs. But I think we're thinking a lot of it in terms of fear. You've had other teams as well, kind of like, their fan base is doing freaking content, talking about, hey, it's coming. Let's go ahead and offer them a trade for this, that, and the other. I don't think there's any real scenario where you look at a Garrett Wilson and you don't think Mike Evans, right? You don't think about those studs who understand their part in the team that drafted them, that they've got that loyalty to the opportunity that they were given. I think he does want to be a part of seeing this thing come to fruition. I don't believe a trade is coming. I'm concerned that maybe for some reason this regime might look at him as a bargaining piece when it comes time to making a move up or down the board, maybe next season. But I think for me, letting go of Aaron Rodgers symbolized that they know the frustration that Garrett Wilson was feeling. You're hearing now Devontae Adams is pretty much out the door as well. No way. There's no way you let go of Garrett Wilson if Devontae Adams is out the door. In fact, I think you're comfortable with letting Devontae go because you spoke with Garrett, and Garrett tells you he's that dude, he's the guy, and you believe that he can be the guy. So for me, I'm not really buying into the fact that Garrett Wilson is going to be traded or he's even going to request it. He's going to be one of the highest paid wide receivers. The dude has done some amazing things with some of the worst quarterback play of all time. It's actually gross.
Teams too,
It's
because
very shitty.
even though his target rate was high, a lot of those passes were behind the line, at the line, or only 5 yards downfield. And I've said in depth, he's not Calvin Johnson. He's not Andre Johnson. He's not Mike Evans. You don't want to get him the ball at the line and let him run over the corner, the linebacker, the safety. You want to get him the ball 15, 20 yards downfield like the Lions do a lot and let him beat that safety on an angle and run
100%.
past people.
That's why I look at what this offense can become. And again, you bring in the offensive components to this team that's going to bring us into the 21st century, right? In terms of literally, this is what an NFL offense looks like today. Garrett Wilson should be excited about that because it means he's going to go ahead and get a lot of looks. Breece Hall should be excited about that. Brandon Allen should be excited about that. These young guys should be thinking to themselves, okay, the old regime is out. We're bringing in a 21st century type of offense. I'm pretty sure they're speaking with the OC right now. Scott Turner, I think, was an incredible addition to this coaching staff, right, in terms of making sure that the offensive.
If you get his dad to show up at meetings,
bring in Norv a couple of times.
Yeah, Norv Turner basically designed the run game, right, for Emmitt Smith and that offensive line. So if you want to get a guy in the building who can help you build a run game, you got a phone a friend to your dad. You know what I mean? One of the greatest guys at calling run game in the NFL history. His son is in the building. So he's got remarkable experience to lean upon and to learn from and to call, hey, Dad, we want to do this against this team. What do you think we can do to help exploit that? Well, I'm glad you called, son. I already looked at it. You should run X, Y, Z. Boom. I've been waiting for you to call. I've been already studying this tape for 3 weeks, waiting for this phone call. So,
wait, quick shout out to Fly Guy. He doesn't know. This is all real, Fly Guy. Everything back here I can touch and pull down. This isn't the green screen. And I appreciate the compliment, man. Good looking out. But no, man.
I can't, but with my pants, I could touch and pull down anything.
Ah.
All right, never mind. I digress.
Don't stand up. Don't stand up.
I
You don't want to
digress.
do that.
I don't even have suspenders on. They're up.
Nah, man, I'm excited about the offense. I really am. And I think a lot of what we've seen in terms of the people that freaking Glenn has brought into the building, right? You know, with defense, offense. I know a lot of people look at some of those picks and they're like, they haven't done it before. That's concerning, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes you got to take the chance on being a year too early versus a year too late. And in this situation, I like the addition, you know, for the offensive staff. I like where they're going in terms of now the quarterback's coach being a running backs coach doing the quarterback thing. To me, I'm a little concerned about that, especially as a team where we've struggled mightily to go ahead and pretty much grow or mold a quarterback in these years. So I'm concerned about that. But then I go back to, again, the Scott Turners, you know, access to North Turner. And I think there's more to it behind the scenes than just the individuals entitled only. Look, this team, if they put it all together under a CEO type of leadership from Aaron Glenn, you know, that stems from that Bill Parcells era, right?
Yeah.
If he's able to put together what he's learned in the past and what he learned with the Detroit Lions together to become this epic head coach that just got it figured out and gets things dialing. Everyone that's upset right now about the losing Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, everything goes away. I really believe that Jets fans aren't necessarily mad about losing Aaron Rodgers. I think Jets fans are mad about the idea of sucking yet again, right? Because we can't see the vision. We can't see how
Not
you're going to
yet
go
again,
ahead.
just sucking differently. Like,
Sucking
we're
differently, right?
afraid
Like,
of the unknown.
of the
We
unknown.
want,
And I
we
think
want to know. There was a thing with Babylon B that the Jets release Aaron Rodgers and we'll find a different quarterback to lead them to defeat. Like, that's true, right? Like, we're petrified of, we want to stick with what we know. A lot of us didn't want to move on from Sam Darnold. Some didn't want to move on from Zach Wilson. Some don't want to move on from Aaron Rodgers. It's the way it is. If you don't have a
it's
franchise quarterback, you're going to keep having that discussion. 41 years old is not a franchise quarterback. Excuse me. Boomtown made a comment, a question. How can you possibly be excited about this offense right now? And I'm excited about the possibilities of getting a passing attack, getting the ball downfield. I'm excited at the possibilities of using Garrett Wilson correctly. I'm
Yeah.
excited about the possibility of having run plays where the quarterback didn't check for every pass, telling the defense what we're running, and now it's unpredictable. You cannot have lesser name talent, but a better scheme. The year the Giants went to the playoffs with Daniel Jones, that was a lot scheme related. There were guys wide open. Jones missed a lot, but the scheme had guys open time and time again.
If we're being honest, I'm glad you brought this up. If we're being honest, the Buffalo Bills did not have a talented roster. They didn't. They had an offensive scheme that put up points utilizing the strengths of their quarterback. The offensive scheme made those guys what they were. The Bills roster don't beat us in any category other than quarterback when you look at the offensive side of the ball, right? That's a perfect example of how good a scheme can go ahead and pretty much impact success rate. Josh Allen is the MVP. We have the MVP in our division. That's another thing too. Everybody who wanted to stick around with Aaron Rodgers, look, we have the MVP in our division. We have Drake May, who, sad to say, but he looked pretty good towards the back end of the season last year. And then Tua, we know what he can do when he's on the field. I'm not scared of Tua, but the dude can get the ball out fast enough to his weapons because why? The scheme makes Tua a Pro Bowl caliber freaking quarterback. The scheme matters. So I get it. Everyone's concerned about, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers is gone. Listen, Aaron Rodgers was not going to win us a Super Bowl. Not after what we just saw last year. I think Nick said it beautifully. 2023 was the window. Had he not torn the Achilles,
You had the special teams.
You had
You can't even write in the fallacy of a predetermined outcome with the whole offensive line getting injured because guys got hurt on certain plays. Plays would have been different. Situations would have been different. You can't even say they would have got hurt because all those situations wouldn't have appeared.
100%.
So 2023 was the year to make a run. Unfortunately, it got taken away.
Didn't happen. 100%. I just look at. I'm excited.
How can we be excited about passing the ball downfield when they don't know who the starting quarterback? All right, we don't have a starting quarterback. We don't know who it is, but there will be one. The Vegas Raiders, they threw the ball downfield. Teams can throw the ball downfield. When you establish the run, you can throw the ball downfield. You can throw the ball downfield in the NFL. You just have to have a quarterback who's not afraid to do it because they're not more worried about their touchdown interception ratio all time. Makes a difference. Sometimes you just got to sling the fucking ball. And if it gets picked, it gets picked. But if you have the safeties thinking they're going to go over the top, what does that do? It opens the run game. When you're always going to go underneath and defense gets to play downhill, guess what? Not a lot of shit's going to be open, including the run game, including the run holes, because there's no fear of you going over the top. When did we score 30 points in the one game against Jacksonville? What did we do that game? We hit Devontae deep for a touchdown, but we also threw another one deep that was missed, I believe. That opens up things underneath now. When the safeties have to fear over the top, they pause. And if you get a half a step with someone like Garrett Wilson or other NFL wide receivers, that's a huge, huge window.
I feel like people really think Tyrod Taylor must be some scrub. Like, I feel like people, I guess you haven't seen Tyrod Taylor play ball in a long time, but Tyrod Taylor has one of the prettiest deep balls, like, in the NFL when he's on the field. The biggest concern about Tyrod isn't his ability to play ball. Tyrod Taylor, the biggest concern is, can the man stay on the field? This whole fear factor of, oh, what was me? We don't have a quarterback. I honestly believe that Tyrod Taylor, if he can stay on the field, can produce 3,800 freaking yards and 28 touchdowns. Like, the dude, his only concern is staying healthy. He's got mobility. He has a beautiful deep ball, like one of the most beautiful deep balls in the league. He can throw the ball anywhere on the field. Strong arm. He's got a high IQ. We've got a quarterback on this team, and it is a bridge quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is not a franchise guy, but neither is Aaron Rodgers anymore. We currently have a bridge guy on the roster right now. Jordan Travis, I don't know. Could he go ahead and shock the world? Maybe. Nobody thought Tom Brady was going to shock the world. He did. I'm not comparing the two by any means, but you just never know what you got till you get them out on the field. Yeah. And you draft a guy in the late. Over. He doesn't. And then
15 and 16 when he was the quarterback of Buffalo, he had 3,000 yards each year, 20-6 touchdown interception ratio, 17-6 interception to touchdown ratio.
And now
throw the ball downfield, but he doesn't throw pickable balls.
No. He's again one of the prettiest, most accurate deep balls in the NFL when he's on the field. Unfortunately for us, we've forgotten because we haven't seen him in a while. There's a reason why we paid him the kind of money we did to go ahead and keep him on this team. If Tyrod make the playoff, the people says if Tyrod stays on the field for 17 games, there is a strong chance we make the playoffs. And honestly, I do believe that. Competent coaching and 17 games of Tyrod Taylor with his mobility, I do believe there's a chance we sneak in as a wild card. Like, that's how good the guy can ball. But has been in the league for a long time, has proven to everyone that we cannot play a full season. Again, 100%. I'm not arguing that. You're 100% right. That is the only freaking, like, what if, right? He stays injured. But if the guy can stay on the field.
If you design your scheme where your checkdowns, he gets the ball out quicker. He's not taking as many hits, right? You want to, hey, that's your read. If that's not open, here's your check down. This will be open.
And let's not forget the last time he was injured, it wasn't even his fault. Like, they punctured his lungs or whatever it was whenever they gave him a shot. And freaking, I think it was in LA, the Chargers. They went in too deep and punctured something, and that's the last time like he actually was a starter and was injured was because of that. He's been a backup since. So
there was a joke going around for years that if you wanted to get a franchise quarterback, you started Tyrod Taylor. I
remember that.
He was in Cleveland, and then Mayfield came in. He got hurt in the Jet game, and then Mayfield came in. He was in Buffalo, and then Josh Allen came in.
Then he was in Chargers.
And then punctured the lung, giving him an injection for his
ribs. Justin Herbert.
And Herbert came in. So
listen,
that was like the thing.
And this is the thing. He might be the guy, whether it's this year, or I think it's next season, whether there's a franchise guy that we want to go ahead and trade the farm for to go ahead and pick up. But for all we know, like, this could be it. Like, Tyrod Taylor starting for us could be the win that facilitates us finding out if Jordan Travis is the guy, or if they make a trade, or not a trade, but if they bring in a Derek Carr or a Justin Fields, imagine you bring in Justin Fields. Tyrod Taylor starts, something happens, right? Justin Fields comes in, and boom, all of a sudden it all makes sense and it all freaking clicks. and Justin Fields goes, like, you know what I'm saying, goes on a freaking tangent. Like, you never know.
Nobody
Geno
thought that
Smith.
Tampa Bay would be a playoff team back-to-back
Hell
years
no.
when they signed Baker
Hell
Mayfield.
no.
No one thought
But
Minnesota
boom.
would be competing for the 1 seed in Week 18 of the NFL with Sam Darnold. So there are
That's another one,
situations
bruh.
where Rich Gannon in Oakland many years ago, his career was written off. Right coach, right time, right scheme, magic happens. Why can't it?
Kurt Warner. Y'all remember Kurt Warner? Kurt
Yeah.
Warner was literally stacking groceries on a shelf somewhere. Right scheme came along for him. The dude was a perennial MVP and Super Bowl champion. Like, we act like this doesn't happen in the NFL level. Sometimes it's about mixing the right ingredients and it all comes together. That matters. And again, I'm not saying that that's going to be our story. I'm just saying the doom and gloom that we currently are enduring and feeling, I feel like we're doing it too quickly, man. Like, we got a whole new regime in the building. We were excited about the whole Aaron Glenn thing. The movement from Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden shifted dynamics. Everybody now is like, woe is me because we don't have Aaron Rodgers. The guy just gave us 5 wins last year. Like, he played a full season. We got 5 wins from it. And I get it. We can go ahead and say better coaching, better special teams. We win a few more games. But can we honestly sit here and tell ourselves that if we got to the playoffs or going to the Super Bowl, what we just witnessed last year? I'll be honest. No, we weren't going to the Super Bowl or witness last year. Aaron Rodgers wasn't good enough. Yes, maybe he would have been a fringe wild card guy if our special teams and we had better coaching. And that was at age 40 to 41.
Or
At
if they
41 to
weren't
42,
settling for field goals, or if he wasn't throwing interceptions at the end of
interceptions in
Minnesota
the
or
end of the
Buffalo.
games.
You
Yep.
can't blame everyone else but
Can't
him.
blame everybody
He
but
was
him.
reasons that we lost too.
That
Now,
is
I'm not
facts.
I'm
That
not
is
yelling
facts.
at you, obviously.
No,
But
no, no,
everyone's
I
keep
agree.
the special teams. And Rodgers. Like, you
Rodgers?
include him in
Yep.
reasons that we lost. He's not like perfect.
No, he was not. He was not. Listen, I'll be the first to. I thought somebody say trade up for Cam Ward. I don't want any of the quarterbacks in this draft class, if I'm being honest. And if we're going to get one, I definitely don't want to go ahead and give up assets to draft any of these guys. None of these guys, quarterback wise, to me, have that franchise like it factor for me. Like, they are significantly flawed. If you want to actually trade up for Cam Ward, that is insane. I don't think Cam Ward is a guy worth trading up for. If he falls down to you and you want to use 7 on him, fine. For me, I want Tet. I think Tet, bringing him in as a wide receiver next to freaking Garrett Wilson, is the start of creating something for next year. We can go ahead and get our quarterback. I'm telling you, Jets fans, you want to go ahead and pray that we wait to get our quarterback in next year's draft.
If he was worth trading up for, Tennessee wouldn't trade the pick.
Facts. Because they don't have a quarterback.
Real quick, Gunny.
What's
I
that?
saw somebody ask. I shared Gunny's YouTube page, 25. That's what that link is.
Appreciate
If
you,
you
man.
haven't already, go follow NYJ Situation Report, Gunny. And yeah, you should have already.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, everybody who's saying, like, Judge Johnny, you haven't watched Wards, it's obvious. No, I've watched them. I watched the tape. I didn't watch the highlights. I watched the tape. This is a guy who's got a strong arm. Yes, he's really cool at improvising. It looks really, really good. The dude can't read a defense. He struggles mightily under pressure. Yes, he's got the gene about him on the back end where he can go ahead and make a bit of a comeback. But there's a reason why he went from a freaking 2nd to 3rd round pick from last year. And then this year he's exciting people. 1 year of highlights is exactly why freaking we drafted Zach Wilson. I am not doing that again. We can't do that again. Cam Ward is very, very limited in his ability to go ahead and read the defense. He can't read a defense to save his life. He doesn't have the football IQ, in my opinion.
He kind of reminds me of Caleb Williams. And you know,
He
I was
does.
not.
Yeah.
He's very good at making the play last a little bit.
Yep.
Almost having the guys break off the routes and kind of like street ballish, like, now I'll hit you.
Exactly.
It's not
But
a lot of
in the pocket. Yep.
release.
Yep.
It's not a lot of timing routes. And you saw this year, everything I hated about Caleb Williams last year came to fruition. In the
Showed
NFL.
up on tape.
He
Yep.
was never asked to do a 3-step drop. He was never asked to read the defense and get the ball out on time. He held the ball way too long, took a shit ton of sacks because he didn't trust what he saw or didn't know what he was seeing.
But he saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I feel the same way about Cam Ward. I think he's a very good talent, but I would not trade up.
I would not
At
trade up.
7,
No.
if he's there,
If he falls,
now you
fine.
got to question, why didn't 4 other teams that need quarterbacks take
I
him?
still wouldn't take him. I'm with you.
Agreed.
I still wouldn't take him at number
Agreed.
7. Like, I don't care
Agreed.
if Shador Sanders or Cam Ward drops number 7. I don't want them. Like, there's there are more question marks than like, oh man, when you break down the tape, you're excited about it. Like, I get it. There's some awesome like highlights of these guys. I got that. But they're both very limited in what they're gonna achieve. I think their ceiling is low. I want my quarterback in next year's draft. My quarterback, I feel like next year's draft, you've got options. So for me, man, at 7, I'd still be upset about it, but I would get it. I would understand. You
Here's
need
why I'd
something
be
to get
upset. Tennessee, Cleveland, the Giants, the Raiders.
Yep.
If all of those teams who, as of today, need a quarterback say, "Nah, we're good," I'm not looking at like we got a steal. I'm looking at as we took a guy no one else wanted.
Yeah.
There's a
What
difference.
didn't we see? What didn't we see? That's exactly what I would look at. And talking about a team that hasn't had the best success in regards to developing a quarterback, all of these guys need work. Our quarterbacks coach is the running back coach that's playing quarterbacks. Like, all of these guys need work. Do we really think that we're going to be able to go ahead and get the best out of a Cam Ward, get the best out of a Shedeur Sanders? Jackson Dart is some guy that I really like, but I liked him if he was going to be in the 2nd or 3rd round. Now I'm hearing he's going to be a first-round talent. I'm like, all right, well, there goes that.
He will be. Whether he's a first-round talent is yet to be seen, but we know.
I'm sorry, first-round draft pick.
The third quarterback.
Yeah.
The third quarterback or whatever, the next quarterback, someone's going to jump. When you have that many teams that need a quarterback, and now you add possibly the Saints into it, and you add other teams that need, someone's going to rise, right? No one saw Michael Penix going number 8 last year to Atlanta. That shocked the entire football world, I think, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But somebody will go that you don't expect, and it's probably going to be Dart. I don't think anyone else surpasses Dart as QB3.
No, QB3. No, I don't see it either. I think Dart definitely sneaks up into the first round
Real quick,
because of the limited options.
He's been sitting here for a minute. 25 with his 3-month super chat. Thank you, buddy, for being a member of the
100%
channel.
25.
If Rodgers wasn't a future Hall of Famer, the discourse would be insanely different.
100%. 100% agreed. I think everyone looks at Hall of Fame Rodgers and they're like, oh, we just let go of Hall of Fame. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers was not getting to the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame Rodgers put up the numbers Lamar Jackson put up as a passer. 45 touctouhdowns, 4 or 5 interceptions. That was Rodgers.
That was Hall of Fame Rodgers.
Winning 13 games like it was nothing. That was
easy.
Matthew Smith with his 7th-month super chat. Thank you, buddy.
Best QB prospect.
Ward is the best QB prospect since Burrow. Franchise superstar guy. Parcells QB criteria confirms it. Look it up.
Couldn't disagree with you more, man. Every year, there's
very big on Ward. Every stream
you can tell
he says trade up for Ward. He is Team Ward.
Last year we were told Caleb Williams was Andrew Luck. He was the best thing since Andrew Luck. He's not even close. Not even on the same atmosphere as Andrew Luck. Every single year, the hype happens, man. People have nothing else to talk about. It's the draft. They got to hype it up. This is the can't miss guy, or this is the foolproof prospect. There's very few foolproof franchise guys in the draft. There's very few of them. This reminds me of the freaking. Actually, I wasn't going to think of it. This quarterback class is reminiscent of the Kenny Pickett quarterback class a few years back.
Yeah.
In terms of just a bunch of mid guys who are going to get hyped up because
19, and then Levis went like 48.
48, yep.
And then Malik Willis went a little bit later. Those are the top 3.
Bruh. And this is reminiscent of that class. But people were telling you that freaking, you know what I'm saying, Malik Willis was going to be a first. Will Levis was going to go ahead and sneak into the – people were hyping those guys up too.
You know the crazy thing, Gunny?
What's good?
Everyone was right. All 3 of those quarterbacks are dog shit.
Trash.
2 of them aren't even on the team that drafted them, and 1 is probably about to be replaced this offseason.
Bro,
and I have those vibes with this class.
With this class, man, I get the exact same vibe with this class. I don't think there is a franchise guy in this group. Somebody might surprise you and be a fringe starter, but I don't think there's a franchise guy in this group. I just don't. And for me,
and I want to do something we've never done.
What's good?
You didn't do it with Darnold. We didn't do it with Wilson. I want to build it first. People saying, "Oh, you want to tank this year?" No. I don't want to tank. I want to have a foundation in place, and I want to have weapons in place, and I want to have the line finished so that when we do bring in a quarterback, he has the structure to succeed. I don't want to wing it. I don't want to force him into play before he's ready. I don't want to force him into play before that there's NFL talent at all positions around him. I want to create an environment for a quarterback. Look at Mark Sanchez. Came in with the best offensive line in football. Came in with reliable veteran wide receivers, came in with elite running backs in the backfield with Sean Green, Thomas Jones, LaDainian Tomlinson, Tony Richardson at fullback, had tremendous weapons everywhere. We went to 2 AFC championships back to back. And then when that started to go away, when we lost Edwards, Cotchery, Brad Smith, and Holmes, all of a sudden we replaced it with nothing. But we had a structure there in place. You have to be able to develop the quarterback. You need the system, you need the coaching, and you need the talent around him. I want to bring in a quarterback like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning went to Indy. Remember what he had? He had Marvin Harrison, he had Ken Dilger, Marcus Pollard. He had Marshall Faulk in the backfield. He had players to help him. First year was rough, 3-13. Second year, 13-3. He came in as the final piece of that puzzle, and they wrote it out, and he led the league with 28 interceptions as a rookie, the rookie record. And then what happened? Greatness and contender
Dynasty.
year after year
Contender every year.
because they didn't leave him out there to die on the field.
I feel like we're playing into the realms of desperation again because we're having the quarterback conversation again, right? I feel like a lot of this is, again, it's fear induced, it's PTSD. So now everything that looks shiny to us, we're like, you know what, that shiny piece will look really great right now on the Jets, forgetting that we're still the Jets. You're going to need a guy that's kind of got this quarterback thing semi figured out. I don't want somebody we got to go ahead and pretty much train all the flaws out of. And again, this is a draft class full of flaws, man. Honestly, you want to go ahead and take a flyer on a guy in the 5th or the 6th, you know what I'm saying? So be it. I don't want any of these premium assets going towards a quarterback. I just don't. I'd rather go personally, get me a wide receiver, get me a tight end, get me another freaking defensive tackle. We need some safeties. We got needs on this team right now that I think you can go ahead and use. If you don't want to be the
Detroit Lions, right? The Detroit Lions, people say, oh, Aaron Glenn had the 20th ranked defense. Yeah, but they were also in shootouts, and they were in prevent like the entire second half because they were up 35-10, and that's what you do, right? You prevent the big play, you give up yardage, and eventually you give up touchdown, but you don't get beat over the top when you're up by that much because you don't want to give up your enemies the clock at that point. So there was a lot of games where Aaron Glenn had to just
and let's not pretend like the man didn't lose 20. There was 22 different starter rotations this season with the Aaron Glenn defense, and they still finished out as a top 10 unit. Like, put that into perspective. They were number 3 in stopping the run, number 3 on third down. Yeah, they give up some yards, you know what I'm saying? Like, but this was a defense that, with a constant rotation of individuals because of injury, they still finished out as a top 10 unit. That's not the players. It's not the talent level. The talent level obviously dipped, but that was coaching scheme. That was Aaron Glenn scheming this thing up to go ahead and make sure the defense was still, bending but not breaking as he lost key contributors. And it seemed like every other week he lost another key contributor to his defense. In the playoffs, they had a guy who took one snap in the regular season, all season, playing linebacker. Like, that should tell you just how much he had to go ahead and kind of navigate. And I get it. They lost in the playoffs, so people look at that and think, oh, well, he's a loser. Cool. Ultimately, I feel like with what he had to work with and what he had to overcome, I got to give context matters. And you got to give credit to that because context does matter.
Yeah. You can't just look at the stats, right? Like earlier, we mentioned Caleb Williams, and my good friend Jay, 3 siblings, said he had 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Okay. Again, he started almost every game, if not every game. That's just 1 point, 2 touchdowns a game. That's not great in this day and era in the NFL, but that's not what I mentioned. I mentioned not reading the defense, not getting the ball out on time, holding the ball too long, and taking sacks. How many passes did he miss? How many open receivers did he miss? Because he's not seeing the field or reading the field. That comes down to guys who play in college who have the best athletes on the field, and you can just run around, find someone open eventually when the coverage breaks down, and create. You don't get those opportunities very often in the NFL. Very few do. And those are the elite ones. Other than that, you have to be able to read from the pocket, get the ball out on time. And I don't see Ward doing that, just like I didn't see Caleb Williams doing that. Gunny knows we talk draft hundreds of messages a day as the draft comes up in our group chat. I was team Jaden Daniels and said Daniels can hit the field wherever he goes and be like a Lamar, but a better passing version of Lamar as a rookie. I got laughed at in the chat by some and on
I
Twitter
laughed.
and
I
on
love
this
Jay. I
show.
like McCarthy.
I
To
got
me, was
laughed
the
at.
best quarterback. McCarthy to me was the best quarterback in that draft class. We haven't got a chance to see it yet. I think when he does step out, he'll prove it. I still believe that. But I did have it as my number 2 guy. But the way you were putting him up on the Lamar Jackson, I was like, I don't know about all that. But I will say this: I was wrong, because even though it's just one season, it's just 1 year. The kid played like he had ice water in his veins, Nick. This kid never got rattled at all. And he was never the reason the team lost. He was always the reason they had a chance. Listen, Jaden Daniels to me proved, yeah, you called that one right, bro. Because I was one
I
that was
did,
saying,
and I
bro,
took a
you're doing too
lot
much.
of heat over that,
You
man.
did. I'll admit that.
Because I said Lamar Jackson from day one, but a better passing version. What Lamar looked like this year, Jaden, he needs better weapons, but to have a rookie come in and do what he did and go where he didn't hand the ball off to Eckler and Robinson and lead the league in rushing like Mark Sanchez did. He was the reason they were winning games, and they're
Yep.
only going to get better.
Yep.
He's only going to get better. That's a starting point. And I love for him, not that I'm a Washington fan, but I love that Kingsbury is staying. I love that he did not go anywhere and take a head coaching interview, really.
It
And
helps
he's
it
gonna
helps
stay
his
there,
growth.
and that kid is going to make they're going to make a big move, whether it's a Garrett Wilson trade, whether it's another move. They are going to make a huge move to add and take him to another level. I like the kid.
Yeah.
I'll root for him. You know,
I've
always
and he's
been
lovable too. Like it's hard not to like him.
Packers, but now I'm like, all right, if it's not the Jets, I'm going to root for that kid, and I'll root for
I
Washington.
think same here. Same here. I think after the time we've experienced with Packers fans after the Aaron Rodgers day, I've shifted to, you know what, if it ain't the Jets, I could see the freaking Commanders doing damage and rooting for that kid. He's it's hard not to like. He's hard not to like.
He's fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
He's exciting.
It's exciting football.
He's going to win an MVP at some point.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But again, now knock on wood, because again, my biggest concern for him is I think he is too small. He's like really, really skinny, and that's concerning.
But they said that about Lamar too, right?
We did. And Lamar's had a couple of years where he's taken some injury, but Lamar also runs reckless. I feel like Jaden Daniels was a lot wiser about when he ran, like making sure he went down.
There was a plan to it. Like there
was
was
exactly. It was purposeful. It was purposeful. So yeah. I mean, I personally, man, I think Jaden is going to run away with being the QB1, and it wouldn't surprise me if he winds up being one or two of the two guys that wind up getting a franchise contract at the end of the season. But it wasn't close, man. Jaden Daniels ran away with it. I didn't like Drake May either, and Drake May looked pretty good on the back end of it. So I'm wondering what he's going to bring to the table for me. I just can't wait to see freaking Jaden McCarthy start slinging it. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Big fella with a super chat. Thank you, big fella. I must have missed this pop in. I'm sorry. Rick Spielman likes Dart. That's good enough for me. And Rick Spielman is now in the building. So for those of you that don't want Dart, this is a little concerning.
Listen,
but for those of you that do like Dart, this is like, could there be, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Listen, the Vikings never tipped their hat that they were going for Justin Jefferson. In fact, in that draft, a lot of people thought they were going defense. I forget the defense the defensive player they were aiming for, but nobody knew they were going freaking wide receiver even until freaking draft night. Whenever they were excited about, I forget which team picked the other wide receiver that got picked before Justin Jefferson. But anyway, that's when you saw Spielman kind of come out, and then they were like, boom, run to the podium. It's Justin Jefferson. So Spielman played that game, and a lot of people freaking, fell for the defensive approach that they were supposedly have. So the fact that he's being vocal now about Dart means it's not going to be Dart. Yeah. I've seen this trick before from him, and so I'm glad he's doing the old look over here, guys, look over here, and then he's going to do something on the backside. That made me more comfortable about them not going quarterback. Actually, seeing to talk about Spielman.
Franklin asked, "You all saying 26 class is better? I'm not trying that, but who are the QB? Who are the franchise QBs? You got Sellers from South Carolina.
Sellers looks
You got
amazing.
Meyer from LSU. You got Aller from Penn
Archie.
State, and
Archie.
potentially Manning from Texas.
I want Archie so bad. Like, pause. Well, not in that way, but like, pause. Archie Manning to me would be a steal. Listen, I've been watching that kid play in high school. I watched his high school freaking games, for crying out loud. I don't know, he hasn't pretty much gotten the opportunity right now at Texas, but I think when he's on the field, this kid is mobile. He's got a high football IQ. I think he tries to do too much, right? And that's why I think he's sat him down, because he tries to do way too much. I think in his mind, he's thinking, I got to live up to the whole Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. Like, I got to, but like, when the kid when he settles down, bro, that boy is dangerous. So I think Archie Manning is the guy. I would love for him to be the guy next year. I don't think he's going to be the first overall pick. I think because of the limited play time. I think the kid from South Carolina might be the number 1 overall pick next year, which is fine by me. If Archie Manning is the guy, I'm excited. But if we're going to trade the farm for any one of the guys that Nick just mentioned, we are in a much better position. I think the floor for those guys are a lot higher than the floor for the guys you're seeing now, because I think they're more polished and they're all like high IQ guys. Like,
if
people
those
always
4 came in right now, I would put all 4 of those, including Manning, who's barely played ahead of Ward and Sanders and 7.
100%.
I would have Ward and Sanders as 5 and 6 to start.
100%.
That's how
100%.
good that next year's draft class is, in my opinion.
And that's where we want to find our franchise guy, because I feel, again, this is feeling. This is obviously us just looking at what we've seen and making our own interpretation of how it can go ahead and pan out in the NFL. But the floor for those guys are freaking higher than the floor for the guys that we're seeing in this draft class. And I don't think it's close.
Yeah. Jay Quest comes in. Weekly spot for Gunny, please. Thank you for the super chat, Jay Quest. And Knob, who doesn't like anything or anyone, says second that. True. More Gunny. So maybe Gunny and I will talk.
We'll have to start having a conversation. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Gotta go ahead and, I mean, I've already gone over the time we had slotted in, but she hasn't looked at me yet, so I haven't said anything. I'm just going to keep talking until she looks at me. She is. I know. That's why I'm not going to say nothing.
That's the key. Honey, why don't you have people over every Sunday night at 8 o'clock?
You know what I'm saying? Just randomly. Why not?
I'll start inviting people. Just show up at this address. Like, he's a great host. And you just sneak away quietly downstairs.
Shit, she heard me.
Or shit. I hope she didn't hear me. You got headphones in,
No. We're good.
All right. Nick loves you.
Nick says he loves you.
And thank you.
Nick says he loves you.
And thank you.
He says love you too.
Thanks for letting me hang out with my friend.
Thanks for letting him hang out with me. No problem.
That's the key, folks. That's the key.
I gotta jump off real quick, brother. But let's do some final thoughts for me real quick. Came in with something, anything.
If you had to pick one of the 4 from 2022 draft, who is not on the Jets roster this year for 2025 opening day?
Hold on, I'll say that. Somebody wants to say hi to you real quick.
Hi, babe.
2022 draft. If I had to pick one person,
AJ, Garrett, Sauce, Brees, who is not?
Honestly, man,
you have to pick one. Who is not on the opening day roster?
This season?
Yes, who's not on the opening day roster? Yeah.
Oh, wow. If I have to pick one, like a gun to my head, I'm picking one of these guys, and I don't believe this is going to happen. But for me,
who's the least likely to be on the Jets roster, in your opinion, in 2025 opening day? Yeah,
I would say Brees. I think if we had to utilize one of our young studs to go ahead and potentially maybe move up in the draft, or maybe for another player, I think Brees would be the guy. I don't see a world where you let go of Sauce Gardner, a 2-time All-Pro in the first 2 years in the league. Granted, last season was a down year for him, but he still finished off in the top 10. I'm saying top 7 cornerback in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Garrett Wilson is him. He ain't going nowhere. I don't care if you request a trade. They'll tell him to shut up in color. You can decide to leave when you don't sign after your 5th-year option. Jermaine Johnson, I just think the energy is too much. And again, you need another edge presence with the current situation. Brees is really the only person that if you tell me right now, gun to your head, one of these people are getting traded, pick one, it's Brees. I think he's the most disposable. You saw Isaiah Davis, and I think you saw Brandon Allen play pretty well in limited opportunities last year. I'm not saying they can do what Brees does, but I think collectively they can go ahead and replace the production of a Brees, you know what I'm saying, with better game plan and a better freaking offensive line, which I think we're going to see this year. But
And a very
if
important question from Lane. Gunny,
how do you feel about
Gummy,
the Jets
how
draft?
do you feel about the Jets draft?
For this year, man, I really think you've got. For me, I've been on the wall saying you got to go offense unless Abdul Carter falls to you number 7, which he won't. I don't think Carter's going to fall to you number 7. He's the Carter's the only blue chip can't miss prospect in my opinion in this draft class. Like that dude, where he goes is going to be a nightmare for opposing teams. That team got themselves a stud. You build around that stud. So I think we got to go the offensive route, and I do love Tet. I want him. I think that would be a great addition to add on the opposite side of a Garrett Wilson. And we're talking about like getting this team built up for when the quarterback gets in the building. I think you get wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 short away. Can Cordy be wide receiver 3? That would be great, right? If Cordy's that wide receiver 3, you've got those guys on the roster. You've got 3 running backs. One of them is a stud. 2 pretty much good to great potential running backs. Offensive line right now looks really good. Your right tackle needs some adjusting to. I think we bring back Morgan Moses, and then you draft somebody later in this draft to go ahead and slot in behind Morgan and kind of learn from him. But I think you go offense, and I think you go offense because you've got the defensive-minded head coach. Steve Wilkes is a professional. He's been in this for a long time, and he understands how to go ahead and make the best out of his current talent. I think if you want to go ahead and I guess jumpstart this team in the right direction, you add offensive pieces in this draft class, whether it be in free agency or, in my opinion, that 7th overall pick, you get yourself an offensive weapon. It goes a long way to making the life of the offensive, the rookie offensive coordinator, you know what I'm saying, on that side of the ball, make their life a lot easier. So that's what I want. I want us to go freaking offense. Unless Abdul Carter somehow falls to us, then you've got no choice. You've got to bring that dude in the building. He's him. But yeah, Carter to me is the only blue chip guy. After that, you've got a couple of guys who could be, you know what I'm saying, like studs, you know what I'm saying? But Carter's the one dude you would freaking build around, if in my opinion, in this draft class.
I would add Hunter. I think Hunter can be really good.
For me, I'm a wait and see. Again, he was exciting to watch in Colorado, but again, we're talking about.
I think he's going to be exciting, right? Like
he'll be exciting. I think he'll be exciting, but I don't know if you build around him. I just feel like we saw him do both wide receiver and cornerback at the NFL. I'm sorry, at the college level. Not the highest level of competition. He was usually the fastest guy on the field or the most athletic guy on the field against his matchups. The NFL is a different beast, man. Everybody's fast. Everybody's athletic. I want to see how he competes against guys who are on the same playing field with him athletically. And I do kind of have some concerns about his personal life. I won't lie about that in regards to how that could potentially impact him long term. But I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think he'll be fun to watch, but I would not bet that, you know what I'm saying, like he's a blue chipper. I wouldn't call him a blue chipper. I think he's going to be a fun guy to watch and kind of see how it pans out.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, man, the only guy I would throw away the farm for or bet the farm on this season is probably Abdul Carter.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Gunny, thank you. I already posted the link for your show, but tell everyone when you're on, where they can see you, and what you got going on.
Man. Appreciate you, man. It's been too long, dog. This was awesome. You can catch me on Tuesday nights at the Hang or Hangout. So on my channel, we do the Hang or Hangout on Tuesday nights. We talk Jets, man. We just talk Jets. It's myself. Sometimes I get some guests on board. We'll debate some stuff. I think Tigo's coming on the show on Tuesday. We're going to do a little bit of a mock draft to kind of get an idea of where the Jets could go in the first round. He and I have been on the opposite side of the thought process of what the Jets are going to do.
That's good for you. That's good for you. If you align with Tigo, that's when you got to reassess. I
think Tigo likes, though, being on the opposite side of whatever the current conversation is, though. He enjoys a good debate, and he finds a way, man. He finds a way to debate everything and anything. So looking forward to that on Tuesday night.
Well, not everywhere. Somewhere,
not everywhere. Somewhere
maybe it's night. Maybe it's night.
Tigo just loves to debate. He'll find a reason. Nah, but he's awesome, man. Like we all have a good time in our group chat. We always chop it up. But yeah, so Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central, so 9 p.m. Eastern. Chop it up with us on the Hangout. And then on Thursday nights, I'm with Green Bean on the Thursday thick of it. Right now, talking to Connor about potentially doing a show together for just a free agency offseason period. So
Nice.
I will let y'all know once I know more about that. But it looks like I might be, seeing Nick a few more Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Moving on out. So I'll
Oh
top
yeah,
it up with
man.
him after this
Let's
and
do
see
it.
where he stands on that.
When
But
you have an open invite. Whenever you can make
my
it,
man.
you text me like, "Hey, you got anyone tonight?" I'm like, "You're in."
All right, say less. So you
That's
might
it,
be
man.
seeing more
Whenever
of me
Sunday and
on
Wednesday
Sunday
at
nights.
9,
Okay.
Tuesday, I'm doing the Bobby weight loss show on Tuesday nights at
Gotcha.
10.
Gotcha.
But Thursday night at 10 for the throwdown. Anytime you're available, dude. If you want to hang after the show with Green Bean, just say, dude, you got a spot, you're in. Even if I have someone else, you're coming in.
My guy. My guy. We got a super chat. I want to.
Super chat from Big Fella, Gunny, trade back at Dart,
Third.
Deontay Walker in the second, Gunnar Helm in the third. That's my optimal draft.
I like the Deion Walker in the second. I
Oh,
like that a
God.
lot.
He's I have to have that guy.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. A couple years ago,
yeah,
Denzel Mims in round 2 was my have to have guy. And we traded
right.
back in round 2 and I got so upset. And then we still ended up getting, but I know I was wrong on that one.
Yeah,
And unlike
but
other people
Deion
that we
Walker,
know,
though.
I can admit I was wrong and move on
Yeah,
from
no,
it. And
100%.
not still try to say that Denzel Mims is the thing, Green Bean. But Deontay Walker is the first guy that I have been like, I have to have this player because I think he's the perfect complement next to Quinnen. I think he opens it up for Will McDonald on the outside too.
Yeah.
And I need that massive defensive tackle. I'm a size queen. They've been making fun of me, but I am a size queen. Minimum 6'4", minimum 315 for my defensive tackle.
Bro.
Bring big guys back.
He's a big fatty, bro. Like,
Make fatties great again. Let's go.
Is there in the second. I think he runs to the podium, man. I would love that. Gunnar Helm. I think the third might be a little bit rich for me. I feel more comfortable in the fourth, but I wouldn't be upset at it. But for me, man, the trade back for Dart, we're talking about making him a first rounder. It sounds like it would depend on like what are we talking about? Like if you're trading back and you're acquiring maybe some capital for next season, and maybe another third or a second or whatever it might be, and he's in that 20s range somewhere, and you think you really believe this kid could potentially have it. I mean, the kid has a fast release. He's got one of the fastest releases from this entire draft class. Strong arm kid. He's
doesn't
got
happen.
Athletic ability.
It doesn't happen.
I don't think it happens either.
Nobody trades back when they're targeting a quarterback because you don't take the chance of them. You trade back when you're on the clock. Nobody is trading back if the quarterback that they want is there.
And for me, I'm just saying, if
I would be shocked. Find me a first-round quarterback drafted that somebody traded back for. You jump for quarterbacks. You don't move back and then take a quarterback.
If they were to bring him on, I think that's the only way I'd be on board with it. Is if you somehow knew no one else was going to get him, and you trade back and you decided, get him in the 20s, then maybe I feel better about it because at 7, I really don't. I just like the fact that Dart, for me, the quickest release in this entire draft. He can make all the throws. I think one of the strongest arms in this draft class. He also, I think, in terms of that short to intermediate game, one of the most accurate quarterbacks too, almost an 80 to 89% in terms of projected accuracy rating on those throws. Really, really good stuff. But again, he's another guy that he's going to struggle with pressure. Although he dealt with more pressure than Sanders and more pressure than freaking Cam Ward. He struggles with it, but he's experienced it, right? And never kind of like shut him down. He's ability to bounce back quickly. I like that a lot too. I just don't look at any of these guys as like first round gotta have guys. I don't. And I think that's where I sit here as one of the outliers in terms of wanting to go quarterback in this draft. If you're gonna do it, go with a later pick. I think Connor had a couple of guys that he really likes. The McLeod kid, I think makes sense if you want to draft him, the 4th or the 3rd. But
I think anyone who's on the play Travis Hunter, new regimes draft their guys.
Yeah.
What we want to do on offense might not fit what they wanted to envision for Travis Hunter. There's no book in the NFL on Travis Hunter. Never had a preseason game, never had a drive, never had a snap. The highlight of Travis Hunter's rookie year, Jordan Travis. I'm saying
Jordan Travis. I know what you meant.
All right. The highlight of his rookie year was when he was standing on the sideline with Aaron Rodgers in training camp, and Rodgers came over, and I was with Jake and Tom Ace and Richie from Jets Media. We were all together in the front row. Shout out to Tom Ace for holding the seats for us. and Rogers comes over in a place. They're about to do the green and white. So he jogs over to our sideline, and the place erupts. And when it dies down, he's sitting there talking to Jordan Travis. And I yell, Jordan, we're cheering for you, not Rogers. And they kind of look at each other and chuckled. So, yes, I made Aaron Rodgers laugh, which was pretty cool. But
That's
the fact that I got Jordan, too, he kind of shook his head like, oh, man. But that was the most exciting thing that happened this year was a joke from me.
I love that. I'm gonna do one last thing. I see JoJo made a comment that I gotta address it. He said, haha, Zach had quick release and strong arm. Zach Wilson also didn't have the experience in terms of playing time as Dart. Zach Wilson also
and
had
he never went
the
against an
best
NFL caliber,
offensive, and he never
not
went
even an
against
NFL
any kind
caliber
of
defense. Anyone that he went against in 2020
talent.
wasn't draftable
wasn't drafted.
on defense. He never
It
went
was
against
one of the
NFL talent.
softest schedules of all time, and he had the best offensive line every single time. Literally, one of the best offensive lines against the competition because again, they didn't face any real competition. So there's a lot of differences in regards to Zach Wilson and of course Dart. You know what I'm saying? Like Dart's gone up, it's going up against literally NFL caliber talent. They're going to the pros. Zach Wilson didn't have to do that. So that's my only comment on that. I gotta jump off, brother. I gotta jump off.
Thank you.
I appreciate the time, man. Love chopping it up with you guys. And just, man, just remember, man, whether we agree or not, I know at the end of the day, we all just want to see this freaking team win. We want to see this freaking team stop embarrassing us. It's been a long time, and we're all on the same boat when it comes to that. We might disagree on the route to get there, which is fine, but it's all love, and I appreciate you guys chopping it up with us and spending your Sunday nights with us talking to New York Jets. It's a good time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. You have a good one, man. Good night.
It's awesome. I love talking with him. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Robbie, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I didn't get to it earlier, but I saw that you're new here. I appreciate you for coming over. I see that we've hit the call-in. We're at 80 likes. Thank you. Let's try to get to 100. If you haven't liked it already, hit the like button. But we have the link posted. The link is pinned. If you would like to continue the conversation, feel free to join. But first, I'm going to play a video. I have to use the bathroom. And let's see if I can loop this. We will be back in just a moment, but enjoy one of the best videos that I have.
This is his Bobby in his orange chair. See, this is him. I like that. Come on. Look at my wife. No, I mean, I'm Neil. I saw that game, and I was in my nuts. How could they not win? I'm upset right now, going bonkers with a cigar in my mouth. I was watching it, and the record's like 10-3 now. You know? Let me just go step out the window right now. I'm Charles. With the hat on.
Oh, wow. That's fast. Yeah, you could do. All right, hold on. Let's do Alan. Do you want to do a impersonation of me?
Good evening. Before I start this show, these are the advertisements. Custom best bourbon that you could get for just 99 cents for the you get 50% off anytime you go to like Buffalo Wild like wings for any Jets game or Giants game. We're gonna go take some callers now. Bobby, are you there? I don't think he's there. I think he's in a dark spot.
Would you be able to do an impersonation of Jake?
You know how it counts down to the beginning of the show and go, good evening. I'll have shows on for 2 days. I had one this morning with Jeff Parsons. And the merch store, anything that you could get from the merch store is you get for any, like, if you become a member. The first call we go to is Bobby, midnight. Hi, Jake. Hi, Bobby. Oh, you look happy. Can we see your cat? Okay, I'll show you my cat. Oh, the kitty cat. I can do this all day.
Can you do an impersonation of Robert C?
Don't worry, but his hair's never clean. He looks like a guy from Monster Inc.
Are you going to race shows at MetLife Stadium in the parking lot of 40-yard dash?
Do you know the national anthem?
Oh, say and make through by the light and so bright as the twilight's last evening.
Tremendous work.
This is his Bobby in his orange chair. See, this is him. I like to come around. Look at my wife. No, I mean, I'm Neil. I saw that game and I was in my nuts. How could they not win? I'm upset right now, going bonkers with a cigar in my mouth. I was watching it and the record's like 10-3 now.
I don't even care that every looped. I love listening to Lane. If there was only a way I could talk to Lane right now. Lane,
Hi.
how you doing, buddy?
Good. I just have to put the TV down a little bit.
Oh, I appreciate you, sir. You're a professional.
Yeah. I was just in the middle of watching the 50 thing of SNL.
Oh, yeah?
Pretty interesting, yeah. On
Lot
the
of
other
laughs?
hand, yeah. So I was on Bobby's show earlier. He looks nice, actually. I'm still waiting to see how his comments are going to be from the interview at McDonald's. Oh, wait, is it
Yeah,
McDonald's or yeah? Thought it
I
was
think it
Wendy's
is.
for or Burger King.
It's going to be interesting. Hopefully, fingers crossed, something good happens for him.
So when he gets there, will he have to? Is he gonna allow to have like a mint or something, or do they allow?
I don't know. I can't tell you that.
Yeah, yeah. So I wonder. So why is Carly not on Bobby's show that much?
I don't know. Do you want to get Carly on there more?
Yeah, probably, but Cam Ward.
How about Canova Ward?
I gotta see. But I mean, you're going through this whole draft for okay, you pick 7, but I don't know who else you could get. There's a lot of people out of like Miami, like University of Miami.
A lot of people out of Miami.
I think though I want the Jets to keep Adam
Archuleta.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want them to
Adam
trade
Archuleta's
out.
got a lot of left in him.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And who else do I want them not to trade? I don't want them to trade Sauce Gardner.
I agree with that take. I wouldn't trade Sauce Gardner either. I would be shocked, but
Yeah,
you
I
never know
mean,
in the NFL. I was shocked when they traded Jonathan Vilma. I was shocked when they traded
Yeah.
John Abraham. I was shocked when they traded Jamal Adams. I was shocked when they traded Leonard Williams. I was shocked when they traded Sheldon Richardson. Like I've been
Yeah.
shocked a lot with Jets guys
Yeah.
who've been defensive rookie of the year.
Same
They're
as
gone.
mine. Like honestly, keep
Just
trade.
like the kids
I
of
mean,
death.
I don't know about Garrett Wilson. I don't know if you keep him or I don't know if you trade him. I mean, if you trade him, I mean, we're losing a lot of players. It's like this
Yeah.
whole thing about this, and now this whole thing about the whole tanking thing is. So we'll
I-
see. I don't know what that's all
There's
about.
no tanking. Tanking to me is losing games when you have the potential to win them.
Yeah, that's what the Jets did.
Losing
That's why.
games because you're not quite finished product yet is different.
You know
And
why
I
the
think
Jets
that
didn't?
people see a team that could lose games and they call it tanking. No, it's just you're just not finished yet.
Yeah, I mean the Giants just. I mean honestly, why the Jets? I mean, Giants and Jets did not do good this year. Honestly, no offense. Whoever they had, they just didn't like
No
wake up
coaching
in week
and no
1 and week
quarterback.
2 and going to all the weeks. The one in London also, they didn't do good. Or was that the Jets that played in London?
I think they both played overseas this year, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
But yeah,
They
that
both
game
did.
was
The
like,
Jets played first against Minnesota. Then I think the next week the Giants were there.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like just yeah,
Nikki, my son is saying they went over against the Panthers.
yeah. I mean, and they Panthers, and it's like they only won like 2 games. It's like they're just terrible this year. I mean, hopefully when the schedule comes out next year, they could possibly. I'm hearing that Mexico might be involved too, for them to play in 2026.
Australia.
Yeah, I mean,
Australia
in
in
Australia,
2026. The
it's gonna be
Rams
good
will
for
be
Hawk.
hosting a home game in Australia in 2026.
It's gonna be good for Hawk. I just realized.
Look at that.
Hawk's
Hawk goes
gonna
to
be
Australia, and within 69 of you here watching, thank you for doing that. Thank you for spending your Sunday night here on the Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. That is the Lane Train. Lane, any closing thoughts for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, like, so I wonder how is Hawk doing? He's been there for like it's gonna be a month going into March.
A week.
Yeah, I mean a week. So how do you think he feels that he gets
He's
to see
happy.
here?
I think he's
Hi,
happy.
Hawk, if
Everything
you're
that I've
there.
seen, they look happy together, which is awesome. We got insider reports from Craig, and in the Discord in my group, they're posting a lot of pictures together, and I'm happy for them. They waited a long time for this,
Yeah,
so
and it snowed a lot
cheers to
also.
them. Lane,
It-
if there was a woman out there in
yeah,
Australia who was looking for a handsome, charming, respectful young man, and
I'm
she couldn't
listening.
find him, but she had how would you sell yourself to a woman in Australia
It's
if
gonna
she
be
was
hard
looking for an
actually.
American? Go
I
ahead.
like honestly, I would have to probably think about what to say because I didn't want to make a whole big fool about myself doing it. But
Never just speak from the heart like you always do.
no, honestly, I just realized I did not save today, so I feel weird with the beard right now. So it feels itchy. I don't like beard.
All right. Me
Yeah.
neither.
All right. Yeah. All right. So that's all I have to talk about. All right. You go
I don't
next
like
call now.
nothing, Lane. I don't like
About
beards
beard
either.
because it's too itchy.
Well, that's why I let it grow long, so it's nice and soft. There's no scruff. You got to get past that
Oh.
scruff part.
Oh. Okay.
Should we get you to grow a beard until the draft?
I would look weird if I grew a beard like that.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think you look
Honestly,
great.
if I grow out a beard, I'll have to be. I could do it, but I look kind of like different.
Yeah, well, if I shaved mine, I'd look different. Sometimes different is better. It makes you stand out in the
See,
crowd.
without a beard, you would look like me without a beard.
All right.
Actually,
I tell you what, you grow it to the draft. I
let's
will
talk
shave
about
mine
beards.
on the draft. How about
Beards.
that? You grow
Yeah,
the
I
beard,
mean,
and I'll shave the beard. I will go full shaven if you grow a beard from today into the draft day. And you know I love my beard, but that's how much I enjoy you, Lane.
Okay.
And I'll shave my beard for nobody, but if you grow one, I'll chop mine as a deal.
Yeah, same as Jake's mustache. It looks nice though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lane,
Okay.
you are awesome. Thank you for watching the channel.
All
Thank
right,
you
I
for
have to
calling
go
in,
anyway.
and have a good night, buddy.
Okay, you too. Bye.
He's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And you could tell Sarah's at the point of the relationship where she is speaking for Hawk. Well, Sarah, I get DMs from Hawk, and he says differently. He says he's really loving it there. So, ha! Yes. See? I knew it. I knew they were going to cage him. I knew they weren't going to let the American inside. I knew he was going to have to pee in a bucket in a cage in the yard. Hawk, we love you. We miss you. But we're happy for you, buddy. Don't rattle the cage too much, man. They have some wild animals over there in Australia, and we don't want them to put you down. I mean, you could literally go missing off the face of the earth, and how would we ever know? What if like Sarah and Craig are like serial killers and they like bait people to come to Australia, and then all of a sudden they like make them disappear? I've seen the fence in the back of Craig's house. It's like barbed wire fence, man. Then nobody gets into that property. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday night. It's Shine Time. Thank you for being here. Call lines are open. If you want to call in, join the conversation, give your thoughts on what Gunny and I spoke about, give your thoughts on the state of the Jets. Feel free. Read the People says, Hawk fed baby kangaroos. He's an Australian Disney princess. Nice. All right. If that's where we're at, if that's the point of the show, nobody wants to call in, we will get to our what did we learn today? I'll tell you what I learned. I learned that the Asmaniac Bracket Committee, which I am blessed to be a part of, had a very fun, interesting, entertaining time today compiling the bracket. I think you guys are going to be excited to be a part of it, voting, the content. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. We had a lot of fun doing it. Knob, I learned that Lane gives 0 fucks. 0. Rick Kent, I learned Wayne needs to go. Banned forever. Done. Right after this. Well, during this.
This got me.
Gentry covered in football. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
I had the loop button on. I can't go back into the YouTube comments to when he was removed, but we should be able to take care of that Tuesday night, Rick. Your wish is my command, sir. Ooh, Bobby one and done according to Ted. Robbie Oak learned more people, same plan for Jets that I do than I thought. Learned more people have the same plan for the Jets that I do than I thought. Peter, I learned that we have 6 more months of winning the offseason. Oscar, I learned that Lane has Rick Kent and Jay Quest both blocked, not just Jay Quest. Interesting, right? I'm only blocked on Jake's show. I see him here. That's weird. Infrared learned that we will not know who our starting quarterback is until late April. You heard it here first, baby. I hope he's not the starting quarterback, no matter who it is. If it's this year or next year, I hope they let the guy sit for a bit. Knobcraft, I learned that a bag of McDonald's after months of not eating fast food is not a good idea. Oh, no. I blame Hawk and Sarah. They posted the picture of Hawk eating McDonald's. Hawk, who's been in this chat. Hawk, who sat there and said, don't eat McDonald's. It's garbage. It's evil for you. It's poison. A week into a relationship, and he's scarfing it down in the car. Couldn't even wait to get home. Probably made her pull over in the parking lot. I thought relationships were good for you, Hawk. What are you doing, man? It's poison. Yelled at me in the summer in the garage, telling me I shouldn't eat it. Thoughts and prayers to you, Hawk. Matthew Smith, I learned a lot of people don't know what Cam Ward is the second coming of Christ. Jesus Christ. Literally. Clancy, whole season went to shit when Nick scarfed down that Big Mac. That's true. I don't think we won again. Stupid free Big Mac. Thanks, Nikki. What? I don't know. I'm just blaming you because you're here. Just to be fair, though, I blame you when you're not here, too. Joys of parenthood. Blaming your kid for everything. Yeah, the Jets' Big Mac sack ruined the defense. Sarah, I find it very hard to believe that Hawk lived in Toms River, New Jersey, where there's a McDonald's like every 500 yards and wouldn't touch it, and went to Australia and now said, let me try this shit. Let me see what the hype is. Infrared, I learned that Brother Hawk ain't coming back. ISU, I just learned the reason Cam Ward wears number 2, thanks to Matthew. Very well done, ISU. Very well done. We got another caller real quick. Sonny, I'm about to wrap the show up, but what do you got? What's on your mind?
Hey, Nick. How are you, man?
Good, brother. Yourself?
Good. I enjoyed the call with Gunny, and then
thank you.
The Lane Train. He's always great.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I'd hate to wait on drafting a QB in 26. I think they could take a shot at someone at some point during the draft. You know, it doesn't got to be with the 7th pick or whatever. The thing with Tyrod Taylor, I mean, the guy has never been healthy. You know, we can reference his time with Buffalo. That was a decade ago. It's like whenever the guy steps into a starting role, makes it a few weeks or something, and then he's, you know, out for the season. So I'd like to see them bring in another veteran. It doesn't got to be, you know, a guy to the caliber of a Matthew Stafford or anything like that. I think Justin Fields is intriguing.
Yeah,
I think there's a couple of guys that would work. You know, I have them battle it out with Tyrod for the starting job, and you know, draft a QB late. Maybe they can get lucky.
Yeah, they always do that, right?
Know.
You're going to take somebody on a flyer, and maybe it works out. You know, you're going to draft your guy. You know, Jordan Travis isn't their guy. Another regime drafted him, so he may never even have a fair shot. That's just the way it works in the NFL with coaching and general manager changes. They don't want to take someone else's guy. Look at, we moved on from Sam Darnold to draft Zach Wilson. They wanted to draft their guy. They didn't want to try it anymore with the previous.
Plus, we've never heard anything positive about Jordan Travis. It's just that he's had a tough time recovering from injury. I mean, the guy wasn't even healthy enough to practice. So it hasn't been positive at all. So I know a lot of guys are high on him and would love to see what he can do, but at this point, it looks like the guy can't even step on the field. So
yeah, he didn't have that opportunity with injuries and recovering.
Right.
And, I don't think it's going to be a thing with him. I just don't.
Give me a
maybe-
prediction on the Jets' record for the upcoming season.
I gotta see who we have before I predict a record. I'll say this: if the bar is the 5 wins that Aaron Rodgers Jets had, I'll take the
Right.
over. Not even knowing who the quarterback is, I'll take the over.
Hey, I'm a fan either way, whoever's playing QB.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I wasn't happy about them moving away from Rodgers. I thought he would have been a perfect bridge guy for one more year. But if they didn't want him back, I understand all the arguments as well. But
Yeah.
hey, I hope they win way more than 5 games this year.
Amen, bro. From your lips to God's ears.
Thanks
Bro.
for taking my call, Nick. Have a good
Calling
night,
in, bro. Thanks for the support.
Yep.
Talk soon. Oh, nice little surprise call there at the buzzer. Ladies and gentlemen, we've hit that time of the show. This is the time where we learn, what did the greatest note taker in the 51st state learn? Boomtown, the future 51st state. Please tell everyone what you learned. And while you are, Robert C. says, if the Jets don't sign a free agent quarterback, they will most likely draft one somewhere between the 3rd and 5th rounds. Well, that would just leave the 4th round because that's the only round between the 3rd and the 5th. Stack says we're at 92 likes. Can we try to get to 100 before the end? I will say this, my draft prediction is if Abdul Carter's not there, we do trade back and we pick up another pick somewhere between 42 and 92. Somewhere in that round. We need more, either a late 2nd, an early 3rd. There's too much of a void there to wait 50 picks to select. Too much happens. But Boomtown, please notate that as my prediction. I know we will revisit. But Boomtown learned Nick subscribes to the motherfucker sound test. Function F4 will get you every time. Carly has friends and enemies. Tigo the Gray will remain forever. Fuck yeah, Tommy. Bonus, 25 might have hit big at bingo tonight. Gunny wants Archie. Bad. More Gunny, please. Mexico might be involved, according to Lane. Hawk is cage-free for now. Double bonus, Sarah and Craig may be serial killers, and Hawk may be in danger. Thank you, Boom. Very well done. 25 with a super chat. Like or the 2032 meteorite will hit where you live. Who wants that? Boom, could you notate that and we'll revisit that in 2032? But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for the feedback tonight. I'll talk to Gunny. We'll work on trying to make this a more common thing. I appreciate all of you for watching, liking, the new subscribers. I believe we are up. We're at 1348. We're 2 away from 1350. If you're watching the show, either now or in the replay, subscribe. 1350 sounds so much cooler than 1348. Help a guy out. I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm a family guy. A family guy. Not the family guy, but a family guy.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching The Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. Have a good night. Tuesday night, Bobby Midnight, Week 11 weigh-in. 10 p.m. right here. I think we hit the trilogy tonight. We want the Blitz BK trilogy? You got it. God bless. Thank you for watching. Go Jets.
Hey, Shiners. It's a party.
my house, Discord party.
Let's got beat.
Yo, we at Sean's crib about to turn up. Music bumping, party jumping. Please someone fill my cup. We greet each other Merry Christmas. And let the jet suck while Bobby yells at Santa. Shut the fuck up. Then Gary intervenes and tells them don't be mean. Eat a stick of butter every day and you'll be lean. Then Santa runs off. I hope he left some gifts because Bobby scared him off. He's on the naughty list. This whole party's lit. Nate, Clancy, many more. We hardly fit. And Addison and Weeds bought that Marley spliff. I licked on my lips cause old Jenna G make my heartbeat skip. Damn Charles Gorman, was that a fart you ripped? Too much egg in your the hot dogs and chips. Now I want my dip. Tell me where the hell is Santa? He ran so quick. I checked the bathroom.
Hey, all you shiners, it's time for something cool. I'm here to do my part. I'll drop a stinky fart. No chicken soup for you. I'm gonna eat it up. And then I'll do a show and talk about the Green Hornet. I got a new laptop. You know it doesn't suck. I'll need to keep it down when I'm making too much noise. My mom will pull the plug and Dennis smack my ass, and that will surely blow. Hey, fuckers, it's time for the Nick Shine Show.
Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm your host, Nick.
When the blitz comes, there's no one to block him.
It's 10 o'clock, get ready for the showdown. 9 toes down, Nick, ready for the throwdown. We proud Jets fans, we don't play with them pronouns. Best roster in the league, we playing with the pros now. They tell us slow down, call us delusional, call us losers as usual. But this season will be beautiful. Shotgun with you know who, but run it instead. Lad Hall, hit the hole hard.
That's what she said.
Ground and pound like it's 2010. The chat, we got many friends. Johnny wearing hats for super chat and watch him breathe again. Nick put the link so Bobby can call and speak again. Bonesy did the blunt, I got the weed and pens. We speaking green again. Jets news like it's CNN. A-Rod and Charles Gorman, it's like we seeing twins. Feeding tins, pounding on these bleeding fins. Week 14 and 18 when they needing wins. They ain't seeing them. We run the ball and play defense. This is AFC hell where the teams repent. Ladies and gents, welcome to MetLife. This is Jet Life. We bleed green, this our best life. We just nice.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
And this just in, you can go fuck yourself.